Greetings in Jesus' name. I'm going to try to do a video here if my camera will cooperate. I keep having problems with it. I want to redo the hair bun video if possible with the new mannequin head I have here. I bought a cosmetology head actually. Kind of a weird thing for me to buy, but I think she's very useful because she has the hair and I can show the coverings that I sew better with something that's actually got real hair and a hairline. But I also thought it would be useful for doing videos. You might be able to see a little bit better, and then I don't have to use my own hair. Let me show you first off the hairpins that I have here. I've got three types. The first type is from Walmart. Seems like that it was from Walmart anyway. It could have been like a drugstore or something, but you know, a common type of hairpin. Obviously smaller. That's fine if you have short hair. For me, with pretty long hair, they don't work very well. But even more so, what I don't like about them is they're very thin and flimsy. And actually, this is the better type that when you buy them at like Walmart. Generally, the ones that you find more commonly are even a good deal thinner than that. And those, to me, are just absolutely trash and a complete waste of your money. You have to use so many of them to get a bun to stay. And even then, it's not going to stay very good. This type here I just found and was very pleased to find. I found them at Sally Beauty. They're also good for white bobby pins. Sally Beauty has those too. Very good for if you wear a white head covering all the time. But these right here are very much like the Amish style or Amish Mennonite maids type of hairpins, which that's what these right here are. Notice we've got those in crinkled now too. The type at Sally Beauty are not quite as heavy as the Amish Mennonite style ones, but the nice thing about them is they are a little bit cheaper. I think I paid, I want to say $1.89 for 25 of them, something like that. And I'm probably going to offer them on my site with a little bit of a markup to cover keeping them in stock and such, but I think they are handy, and I think a lot of people have the Sally Beauty stores buy them, and that will help people to find them a little more readily. I do recommend, if you're going to use these, just as a rule of thumb, bend them closed a little bit, pinch on that upper end to be a little bit more like that because they stay a lot better. But they are a little more lightweight. One very important difference that I think in the long run they're not going to wear very well is they've got little rubber tips on them, whereas the Amish Mennonite style don't. And while that may, just realized I'm not zoomed in on them very good, I'm sorry. While that may seem like a good thing, I really don't think it is, because rubber tips do tend to wear out over time, and then they will catch your hair when they start to peel back. The Amish Mennonite style, they've got them to where they've done something to the edge. They're kind of pointed, but they're a dull point. They will not rip your hair, and these will last you for years and years and years and years. The place you get these from is the GVS catalog, and you can write me and let me know, and I'll give you the information and the email address to contact them so you can get on their catalog list. They're very cheap. The only offset is you got to deal with shipping to get them there. They're just a hair more expensive than those, no pun intended. But honestly, I think these are very much worth it. And if you're going to place it in order to GVS, what I do is I just try to buy a year or two's worth of stuff from them at the same time. Both Sally Beauty and GVS also carry the heavyweight hairnets, similar price. I think they're like less than $1 each, basically. And these will last you a very long time. You really only need one. GVS has these in various colors. You can get them in, white if you have, if you're one of the elders among us and have white hair. I think they've got just about every color that hair normally comes in at GVS. But I think Sally Beauty only had the brown ones. But for me, it's no big deal since I have dark brown hair. But anyway, those are your hairpins, and I just thought it was important to note the difference because there's a very big difference in the way they feel. These two I think are both perfectly fine to do your buns with. That I just have a very low opinion of those. They're just too little and just not heavy enough. And the thinner ones are just completely useless. But it is possible, if you can't find anything else and you just don't have the money to order from GVS and you don't have a Sally Beauty near you, you can do it with these. But be warned, it's going to take a lot more of them. Okay, now I will warn you, doing this is very awkward for me. I'm not used to working with a completely different head, not to mention she doesn't hold still. The hair doesn't always lay the way I would like for her too, but it is, I think, still good for the purpose of displaying. What you start off with when you want to do a flat bun for head covering, because you can do your twisty bun, that's really, really common, and that will work fine for a while. But usually once your hair gets so long, it just doesn't work anymore because you'll get too much bulk. And not to mention, when you do the twisted bun, you have to twist usually tight enough that you end up with a lot of headaches. But this style makes a very flat bun, which is very useful, especially if you're trying to wear a fitted Mennonite type hair covering or something like that. But if you're wearing a veil, it really don't matter much. But still, I think this is a better bun because it just doesn't pull as tight. You do need a long barrette. Went ahead and put it in so I could have that much done, but you can see what type of a barrette it is. I think they're called stay tights. And where my hair is long, I usually do have to bend them so that they can accommodate a little bit thicker hair, but they do find super thick hair people can use these, but you do have to bend them. But you can use a rubber band or a ponytail holder here, but the bun will not lay as flat. But you put it in upside down, as you can see, and if you have long hair, you wrap, and you keep wrapping. But of course, she don't have that long hair, so I just kind of have to do one little wrap. And you can ball it up, wrap it up, however you want. The important part is just to make a little ball of some sort of hair. And forgive me for doing it this way, but the next step is to get the hairnet around it. Around that little ball. And kind of around the bottom of the barrette. And you twist it, and you wrap it over again. You may even want to go a third time if you feel like it. But notice that makes a little bit more tension on the hair. And normally if you're doing this to your own hair, you're going to be able to pull this a lot tighter than what I can on her, because she's just a mannequin that can come out and I don't want to rip her hair out. When you go to put these in, that's the most important part of doing this type of a bun. You want to create tension across this hairnet. And you want to hook it in, hook in some hair and some hairnet, going this way, and then go back. Flip the other way. And if you can, try to get your ends tucked in there, but if you're going to put a covering over it, it really doesn't matter if your hairpins show. You, again, in this way, catch some hair and hairnet. Even if you just catch the hairnet, that's the important part. And then go backwards. Work around. Notice that's already starting to hold tight, even with just a couple. Catch this way and around. Catch. And I'm kind of using a mix of GVS and Sally Beauty hairpins. This way over. But there's even a shorter one. It's the length of your hair kind of determines how long you really need on there. Sometimes you can use a mix. Catch and turn. Notice how flat that's laying. Even with her with the twisted bun, it would still be sticking out. Now grant you, if you're doing this to your own hair, you're going to have these outer edges laying a lot tighter and smoother than what I can get her, because the way her hair lays, it just doesn't work as well. But I think you get the idea. Now that's holding pretty good, but if I was doing that for real in my own hair, I would probably put a couple more in, just for making sure. But notice the big thing is it's important to catch going that way and then flip it in the other direction. As you do it, it'll pull tension on that net and not so much on your hair. And you'd be surprised how firm that feels. In that bun, when I do this, I don't think hardly ever need to redo it in a day. It pretty much stays up until I'm ready to take my covering off at night. So there you have it. You probably are going to want some bobby pins or something on the side if your hair's loose, and then spray it back. And the next step, of course, is getting your head covering on. Well, there you have it. You have